Hello, fellow wargamers and history buffs. Today we are taking a look at the components from the latest in the Battles of Napoleon series. This is Volume 2. This is Quatre and the Battle of Wartenberg. And so this is from our friends over at Sound of Drums Games. The game itself is starting to ship. I picked up my copy at Consim, so it doesn't have some of the extra bells and whistles that were part of the initial game found that I'd purchased. Those will be sent to me sometime here in the next month or so. But at least you can take a look at the basic components that come in the box. So this is the second in this particular series. The first one was the Battle of Alow, 1807, that came out about 2 years ago. So let's open it up and take a look at the components. So as I mentioned, this is the second in the series, and some of the stuff you're going to find in this is things for the Alow game. When the original Alow game shipped out, the rules had already been superseded by updates. So you'll get a separate series rule book for that you can basically toss the one out that came with your Alow. And then it also comes then with a playbook for Alow with scenarios and all the updated materials that's part of that. It also then has updated fire charts and combat charts for Alow. It's got 2 of those for each of the players. And then apparently it's got replacement counters for your Alow game. I'm not sure what was wrong with the previous counters, but hey, here you've got counters for Alow. Now, getting into the nuts and bolts for this game, we've got the playbook for Quatre and Wartenberg, and this is about 30 pages. It's got the information about what's in the game itself, and then you've got information about special units. The game itself, or the booklet, is full color. It's got some examples of play, which is nice. And then it's got the various historical information as well as the scenarios. And then here it's got the information for the Wartenberg game and all of that good stuff and description of that. And then some designer notes. So that's the particulars for the battles. You've got a second rule book here that you'll keep in this box. And then here we've got the assault tables and charts for Wartenberg on one side. Obviously the terrain is different and some of the units that are involved are different in this battle. So therefore some of the different information is going to be different here than you would have on the Quatre board. So there's 2 of those for Wartenberg. And then we have the 2 extra ones here for Quatre. So then it's got the information for that, for your combat tables, and then your terrain tables and fire chart. And so you've got one of those for each of the players as well. Now, with this particular game series, you've got your little battle boards here. This is then where you're going to be putting down the orders for your formations, and then you're going to be putting the cubes here when you activate these formations. Army fatigue cubes are going to go here. And of course, this is just a quick little reference chart to let you know, hey, under these orders, what you can and cannot do. So we've got this for the Anglo-Allied army at Quatre. We've got this for the French forces at Quatre, part of the Army du Nord. And then here we've got the stuff here for the 4th Corps at Wartenberg. And then here we have for the Army of Silesia. Obviously, there is a very considerable formation here with Prussians and Russians. And so then you've got this board for it as well. These boards are nice. They're made out of sort of a heavier type of cardboard with this nice cover on them. They fold, and so they hold up pretty well. And the player aids made out of similar material. Now, with our counters, we've got our counters here, the Russians for Wartenberg. So you can see them. They keep with the same sort of color scheme that they used in Alow, with that sort of darker green for them. We've got our different order markers here. We've got, it looks like some control markers, and then the flip side of everything with replacement leaders and the formation showing in column as opposed to line. And here we've got more stuff. This looks like the Prussians here, French here, and then more Russians here. Informational markers, square formations, etc. These look like some of the different ones for the Quatre, because we've got the British on one side and French on the other side. And then here we've got units. These got to be the ones for Quatre, right? We've got the Dutch and the Belgians, British, French, and then more informational markers for hits, and going into square. All right, last but not least, well, second to last but not least, we've got our order of battle charts. So this is the one for the Army of Silesia for Wartburg. We can see this is just made out of the same sort of material as the maps. So it has sort of a gloss finish to it. We've got then everything where you would then set up your units for this particular battle. We've got something similar over here then for the French. Okay, made out of this same material as that. Here then we've got the French forces at Quatre. Yep. And then finally we've got the Anglo-Allied forces at Quatre also, with our different leaders and formations, with the Dutch-Belgians, the Brunswiggers, and then the different elements of the British command. All right, and then I'll pull away here and we can see the maps. Now here we are looking at the battle for the map for the Quatre game. We've got obviously the village here of Quatre. There we've got the main highway that runs across over to Ligny, and we then have the forest here, streams, some of the little fortified hamlets or little fortified farms that were there along the road that the French had to contend with. We've got some different locations over here for the French to try to capture, and so they have lots of options where they're going to go. The map itself, as I said, like the others, it has a nice finish to it. The weight of the paper is good. Just kind of looking at the color scheme, it is a little darker than I would have expected, but you can still make out pretty clearly the different elevations and the different notations where things are. So this is this particular map, and there you go. Here we are looking at the map for Wartburg. We've got the village here, there's a little castle, there's the hill. A couple of these are different areas that the Allies need to capture. We've got the Elbe River running along here, and we can see where the Prussians made their crossing there, kind of fought their way through that marsh, and then pushed the French off here. The French have to kind of hold this area for a particular period of time, and then they have to try to extricate themselves off the western map edge. So it's a bit of a challenging battle for the French. They've got some terrain in their favor. They've got the village, obviously. They have this dike, a series of dikes that run along here. And so, you know, they do have some favorable terrain, but they're outnumbered by quite a bit. And so this is the map for Wartburg. Now we've got a few last little things here in the bottom of the box. The bottom of the box has got what looks like a partitioned area here where you can split stuff up between the two. I think that's a little bit better. I know the other box had come with like a counter tray, which was didn't always fit necessarily. But here we've got the different cubes that you're going to need. So we have the fire cubes here. We've got the army fatigue cubes here. Yep. Looks like we've got French cubes for French activations. Russian, Prussian ones here for Wartenberg, and then these ones here for the British. And these are just little, I guess these are 1/4-inch cubes made out of wood. And then we got a pair of dice. So there's a quick look at the latest from Sound of Drums in the Battles of Napoleon series. I like with all of the other Sound of Drums products I have so far, I'm very impressed with the quality of the components. And I think Sound of Drums has done a good job trying to rectify the situation from their rollout of Alow 1807 a few years ago. They've sent out new rules and scenario booklets and counters, and that's terrific. And then I know that with this particular battles that they've put out, they had extensive playtesting going on, including myself helping out with the playtesting and editing the rule book. So I think they've done a great job with it, and I can say that I certainly enjoyed playing the games multiple times as a playtester, and I know that the rules and things like that are much improved over what they'd had previously. So if you're interested, I've done some online live streams of these. You can take a look at those. I'll have them posted somewhere here. And then if you have any other questions or comments, go ahead and put those in the descriptions below, and I'll try to answer those as quickly as I can. Once again, hit the thumbs up button, and until our next episode, be well.